Hello, everyone. Come on in. Welcome to Girls with Sabers. My name is Emrys, and we are having another glorious Reylo tea party. And joining this tea party with me is my co-host, Luthien. Say hi, friend.
One, smash the like button, because the tea is piping hot. Hot, hot, hot. It's the best. It's the best. It's delicious. Hello, Molly, Nora, Isabel, Rachel, Riley, Rosamond. Welcome. Maria, Athena, Pauline, the good spirit, Alex. Smash that like button. Jaxie Dog, Tiffany. What a terrific few weeks we have had. I will never be ashamed to say that I am a proud Reylo. This tea is scalding, but it's glorious.
When it rains, it pours. Have you noticed that pattern? It's like there might be a drizzle on the sidewalk, a few like lovely moisture beads on a flower, but when it rains, Reylo, it's an outpouring, and it's beautiful.
It's raining, Reylo. Hallelujah, it's raining, Reylo. Sorry, that's all I can do, or else we'll get flagged.
That's okay. There's also more coming on that we're going to talk about later. There's a beautiful article from Kelly Marie Tran of her on Hollywood Reporter, and she looks glorious and glamorous.
We'd love to see it.
And Queen, we stand the Queen. And then there was also another wonderful article about Marsha Lucas, the wife of George Lucas, and her unsung ability to basically save the movies that she worked on. So we have a lot of girl power on this stream. I'm going to warn you, it's filled with Star Wars girls awesomeness.
Is glorious. Sorry, but Hubs text me. It's important. It's about dinner, so I had to, you know, Lucian and food. Had to respond to that. All right, let's get down to business.
I love how you had to prepare by rubbing your hands together.
I did. Like,
we need to scrub it with the saline first to operate. Okay.
Yep. Give it a little hand sanitizer. Yeah.
Well, Josh Horowitz, who works with Comedy Central, had Daisy Ridley on to promote her new movie, Chaos Walking, and she had some wonderful things to say about Rey Skywalker, Adam Driver, Reylo fan fiction, and other things. And we have little clips and videos, and I hope they work. Which little clip do you want to start with first, Luthien?
Whatever came first.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning.
Start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Okay,
it
never
is.
Mind. Sorry. I just had
all day, every day.
Okay, so when there's the sound of music being involved, how can you not sound that song? Wow.
Just
long day. Okay. We need the tea. Right. We need the tea now. Okay.
We're okay. We're all right. Yeah.
So this first little clip that you will see, Daisy is reading an alternate history of lines that should have been said in the Star Wars canon. So it's a spoof, but this is what Rey should have said when the lady on Takodanis. No, not Takodana. What's wrong with me? Tatooine. When the lady on Tatooine asked her.
Screw it.
It is girls with struggles. Forgive me. I am so sorry. I was in a technical war with OBS for an hour.
It frazzled her, y'all.
But I won.
It's probably going to take like half a stream, but we'll get there.
I overcome. I'm going to take a deep breath now and not allow the OBS dogs to hurt me any longer. Okay. There, I composed again. Right. So here is the alternate history of Daisy Ridley's lines when she tells that lady on Tatooine what her last name is.
My name is Rey Skywalker. Well, actually, it's just Rey. Technically, it should be Rey Palpatine, but I was mentored by a Skywalker even though he was kind of a dick to me. So yeah, Rey Skywalker. That's me. My name is Rey Skywalker. Well, actually, it's just Rey. Technically, it should be Rey Palpatine, but I was mentored by a Skywalker even though he was kind of a dick to me. So yeah, Rey Skywalker. That's me. My name.
I love that.
I feel like now she is finally able to say what she's wanted to say. And yeah, you could say she's being cheeky, but oh my god, it's so, I don't care. I'm basking in it. It's so good. So good.
Well, I love how humor and truth just combines. Because that's all we can do now. We cried, we've screamed, we've yelled. Now, let's just laugh. Let's just laugh at it.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's what's happening here. We are just laughing. And it's not, I don't want to belittle people. And I know I have some friends who are very touched that Rey named herself after Skywalker. And I don't want to belittle. If you
Correct.
love
we
Rey Skywalker.
We have a lot of people in here that did love Rey Skywalker. And yeah, no belittling here. None.
Just to some of us, it did not strike that emotional chord.
Right.
We didn't hear that and go, oh, wow, that's so powerful. We went, why Skywalker? Because like this says, she didn't have a very strong relationship with Luke. Like, she was really never truly, like, in a dad type way, mentored by Luke. Luke, when he was alive, treated her like I don't want to say it, beep, refer to the original quote. But it's true. So that's why it's always not resonated with me. It's just, what is Luke to her? Because Leia didn't see herself as a Skywalker. She saw herself as Organa. She saw herself as the daughter of her adopted parents. She didn't even change her last name to Solo. So if she wanted to name herself after her mentor, it should have been Leia. It should have been Organa or Solo, because Han Solo was also her mentor. Or if we want to get very Reylo-esque and not talk about the mentor, perhaps it should have been after her dyad, Solo. So that's why it does not emotionally sit well with many of us, because where is the relationship between those two? So that's why some of us find this really funny, like me.
But Nora Bentley said, I love the idea of adopted Skywalkers. I just hate how they did it.
Yes.
I concur. If Ben Solo were never in the picture, or he just completely stayed Kylo Ren, then I could wrap my brain around the Skywalker last name. Then I could accept it. If Luke were a more involved mentor, then I could wrap my head around it. But again, I mean, we did a whole video essay on the beauty of Rey Skywalker. We left our own personal feelings at the door. And when we walked into this video essay, we went, okay, what would Rey Skywalker mean to somebody else?
Yeah.
What does Rey Skywalker mean to the people we know, other podcasters who they felt like they were heard? And then through that lens, it worked. So Just because it didn't work for us doesn't mean it didn't work for someone else. Just because, it didn't work for Daisy doesn't mean, and the beauty of all of this is that all Star Wars is your own interpretation. And especially with Rian Johnson saying it outright to Soraya Wilson, this is your interpretation. Like, I've left certain things open. You can certainly say it's one thing and yeah, that fits, it works. And then you can say another thing and yeah, that fits, it works. That is the beauty of looking at it through a different lens. So, I don't want everyone to explode. Yeah. And yes, we personally love Rey Nobody, but Rey Skywalker did work for people, and I choose to see the beauty in that, like what it meant to other people. Yeah. So just how Mandalorian Luke meant something to people. Did Mandalorian Luke mean something to me? No. Last Jedi Luke and OG Luke meant something to me, but there's beauty in both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a beautiful way to see cinema. And I have to train my mind to do that. Is what worked for me worked for someone else. And I don't want to trample against that person's experience.
Right.
I don't want to laugh at that or cry at that or whatever. But there is good and there's a time to be satirical about things. Yeah. And Daisy Ridley and Josh Horowitz are pointing the finger at something very satirical of how many of us felt about Rey Skywalker, including people on the story team.
Right.
Yeah. Matt Martin from the story team retweeted that tweet about I was mentored by Skywalker, even though he was kind of a dick to me. So there's a lot of rumblings, and of course there are rumblings and rumors and whispers that a lot of the story team was not a fan of Rey Palpatine, including Pablo Hidalgo. There is a few tweets that have come out of his locked account. So, we weren't just the only ones. But again, these employees are trying to stay classy. Of course, they have their opinions, but they can't always express their opinions because of their jobs, and they're trying to be classy with how Lucasfilm employees should conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Milo agrees.
That was Sweetness.
Well, Sweetness agrees.
Well, yeah, because femme gays.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that was amazing. I love that. We need to have a Milo tea that's like, hi there, and then a Sweetness tea that goes, femme gays. I love it.
Either she's meowing about femme gays or she just wants to sit on my lap, which can't happen because I'm not in a position for her to do that.
There is one thing, and here's the here is M being controversial, or me being controversial. There is one thing in this whole Rey alternative history that I did not like. Can you guess which one just rubbed me?
Where do I start?
The wrong way. No,
you better
it's not about
C-3PO. I might say the wrong thing. You're like, well, yes, that, but
it's this one
Kylo.
Right here.
I'm really done with your emo whining.
Of course.
I'm sorry you killed your dad, okay?
It has an audio problem.
Not my problem.
Hold on just a second. Let me do this.
What's hilarious though is in chat, like we sort of had that because I was like, oh my god, Kylo.
That was very Star Wars. Okay.
Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for
OBS did it again. I'm gonna disconnect us to our main speaker. Are we okay? Can you hear us again? Hello? Luthien, are you there? Luthien, are you there, friend? Luthien, they can hear me, but they can't hear you. You're going to have to speak up. Luthien, can you hear me? Anyway, while we're trying to get our friend back online. The one thing that I did not like was the whole emo conversation. I don't like how here is Kylo, who is a very sensitive guy who has been through abuse, who has been through rejection, who's been called a monster since he was a child, and he was kind of made fun of. And it's this whole idea that I don't believe mental illness or the roots of mental illness should be made fun of. There is a time and place to call someone an emo. Like maybe they're being a little bit of a drama queen or king because somebody ate their last potato chip. But this issue with Kylo Ren and what he's been involved in, I don't think should ever be made fun of or belittled, because that's belittling a person's traumatic experience, whether that person be fiction or nonfiction. People see themselves in Kylo. A lot of people have been through similar situations on a realistic plane of thought and on a plane of experience. So that one thing in this whole lovely conversation, and for the most part, I really enjoyed it, but that one aspect really did upset me. Okay, let's see if we can find Luthien back on. Luthien, friend? Are you there? Okay. I can't get her back on, folks. Yes, Riley Richardson said that's why both Ray and Ben both spoke to me, because they are abused trauma survivors. That is not being an emo emotional person. That is sharing your experience. That just really bothered me. I think we just need to be more careful about telling people to let go over things, because something that big, a traumatic experience, takes years to work through. And during that entire time, Ben was not even at the precipice of working through those things. Like, he was still broken in his shell, and you can't scream and mock someone broken in their shell just to get over it. Yeah, it's human to show emotions. That's right. You know, I love Ian Bialik's whole video essay about I'm too sensitive, is that when people say you're too sensitive, what they're really saying is I can't deal with my own emotion, and I can't deal with your emotion, so I'm going to try to control your emotion so I can feel better about mine. It's a control issue. It's like saying, Kylo, I'm uncomfortable with you sharing your emotions with me, so I'm going to stop you from doing so. I mean, there's a time and place to say I'm not the right person to talk to, but still, it just sorry guys, I'm trying to get my friend back online. Just give me a minute, and we should have Luthien. We're troubleshooting behind the scenes. We should have her here just very shortly. Sally Beth, Daisy was trying to be humorous. I don't think she was trying to hurt anyone because it's fiction, but on the other hand, she maybe doesn't know about how this fandom is as a whole feels. I agree with you, Sally Beth. Again, I'm not trying to point fingers at Daisy Ridley or Josh Horowitz and say, how dare you all. I'm saying this because I think there needs to be an awareness made of there are some things that you don't make fun of. Mental illness still has a stigma behind it. And when things like this come up, we need to call it for what it is. That it's something that some things just should not be made fun of or belittled in society, especially when people don't come and get help because they're afraid of being belittled. Yeah. There is exactly. I really like this discussion of toxic masculinity. Again, those are those binary terms of masculine and feminine. And in our society, being a tough is like being a man. In order for you to be tough, whether you be a woman or a man or any gender, is like the strong part. But it's also very strong to seek out help and talk to people about the things that hurt the most in order to get help. Hey, Lou, I see that you're in the chat, and for some reason Skype won't let me sign back in. It's saying that it had technical issues, girls with struggles. So Lou, would you call me on Facebook? I have my Facebook up now for you to call me that way. You're hearing some some behind the scenes situation, friends. Doxy dog. Molly, I was thinking Disney took Lou out. LOL. I'm thinking that too. Disney took Lou. Lou, please let us know that the mouse didn't swipe you do. Nora, hey Lou, try to bring Ben back with you when you return from the world between worlds. Yes, Lou, come with Ben, please. Lou says, I'm coming for you, Ben. The mouse can't stop me. Lou, come for me first on Facebook Messenger. Call me friend and let's get you back on here. I'm all alone. Anyway, that's just, that's that again. That's not to be too critical on Daisy Ridley. I'm not trying to do that. It's more of my commentary on a whole society of societal norms that this is okay to make fun of, and I just think we need to be more sympathetic and have more sympathy if there are some things that shouldn't be made fun of, and a person's trauma experience should not be made fun of. Yes, I'm communicating with Lou elsewhere. My predominant way of communicating with her shut down, so I'm trying to get a hold of her in a secondary communication spot, and she's not on there either. So I'm trying to communicate with her through the YouTube feed, because she's on here. She's reading your comments. She's hearing me on the other side. We're not connected together on a video screen yet. Call me here, please. I'm going to give her about 10 more minutes and see if we can get this get this settled or not. Sally Beth says, the problem is that they don't see it that way. They see it as just fictional and as a caricature. So they don't think it would be hurtful to anyone because it's just Star Wars. Yeah, I see that. But this is why I'm wondering if, as an actor, you inhabit the character that you're portraying. And you don't judge whether that actor is doing, is this fiction or is this reality? when you're acting, you don't do that. Whether it's fiction or reality, it is your character's reality, and so you go with that emotion. And what I should have said is, she said outside when they were doing scenes and such, she would say something like, Kylo, get over it. And to me, as, I mean, if you were Rey's character, I'm just like, Rey, you're a trauma victim yourself. I don't know. To me, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I probably am making, I've spent too long on it, and that's my fault. I'm sorry. I just kind of winced at that. Lou, come on, come help me. I'm going to call her and see what happens. She's here. I see her little icon with a green light by it. So let's see if this works. Everyone, come on, Lou. Answer the phone. Isabel Duncan is right. There should have been a point where their trauma was acknowledged. And I think that's one thing that was edited out of The Rise of Skywalker. The Vanity Fair article that was released, I think, in June or July, I'm not sure, but it stated that they were really going to discuss why Kylo was the way that he was. You know, what happened to him in his relationship with his parents and his uncle, and really get into it, because there was much more that happened than just his uncle with his lightsaber over him. There was more that happened that he needed to tell Rey, and there's more that Ben needs to know about Rey's experience. You never should just assume what a person's trauma was like. Such things needs to be shared. Oh dear, what is going on here? So, communication device 2 failed. Lou is still in the void. Oh, I think I have her. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Guys, can you hear her?
It's the sound again. Oh.
Are you talking in the world between worlds, Lou?
Oh my god, smash the like button. Oh.
Can you guys hear her? I hope you can.
People are saying yes with echo.
Oh, I can't do anything about the echo. I literally have her. This is the setup. I literally have her on my iPad with my microphone over her iPad, my iPad speaker. So this is the best I can do. I can try to take her away from the microphone. Lou, talk and see if there's still an echo.
Is there an echo?
Is there an echo? No more echo. Okay, so they say no more echo. So you use your theatric training. Open up your diaphragm. What a day, friend. What a day.
Here's me. I wish everyone could see me right now. I'm just sitting cross-legged in front of my good mic, hands in my lap, not saying anything. And I am talking to the back of the theater.
Sing out, Louise.
I am. I'm going to start sounding like Jerry Seinfeld. No more Mabel Rye. So I'm not touching anything. My hands are in my lap. Then all of a sudden I hear these
crazy sounds like something out of Twilight Zone. And all of a sudden, everything just went. But I could hear you. I'm like, no one can hear me. I'm seeing people in the chat. I'm hearing you. I hear you just fine after that whole gobbledygook weird noise. And nothing. I'm like, help, anyone can hear me. No, nothing, absolutely nothing. Then everything went dark, and I was like, Mickey? And then, bam, I'm in the World Between Worlds, and I was like, holy cow, World Between Worlds looks different for everybody. Why am I in a candy store right now? Holy cow. And then I see Ben Solo, I see, Uncle Luke, and Leia, and Qui-Gon. Like, it's getting crazy pants, and they're all playing cribbage, and I'm like, oh, I love cribbage. So I'm like, no, Ben, everyone in the chat. He's like, oh, hey, Luthien. I'm like, oh, Ben, what's up? I'm like, everyone in the chat needs you to come with me. And he's like, okay, I can come. That's cool. And then, like, right as I'm ready to come back, and I'm like, sweet, Ben has my headphones. So he gives me my headphones. And so, we're getting ready to come back. And I'm like, oh, I need to use my phone. My phone is the key to get back. So then he's like, no. Then Uncle Dick goes, no, Ben, it's your turn. He's like, oh, Luthien, tell everyone I love them, and I will return, but I have to finish this cribbage game. And then I came back.
Yeah. There's only one thing to do now. There's only one thing to do.
You gotta play it.
Yep.
You gotta play
it. And of course, it's not playing. I'm not making it up. I am pushing play. The sound is on. But is it playing? No, it is not playing. It's not playing at all.
Nora sent a super chat. Thank you so much. This is for Lou's attempt to bring Ben back from the World Between Worlds with the TARDIS, apparently. Oh, man. Molly, Luthien, please make this a fanfic. See, if I had the wherewithal, like, everything was going so fast. Seeing Ben and Co. And I'm like, oh no, people in the chat want me to bring them back. And I'm like, oh, I don't have time. This is nuts. And it's just next time, guys, because obviously this will happen again. I don't think this is on my end, but because I didn't touch anything. I'm on my phone right now.
I don't think it's on your end.
Oh shoot.
Are you okay?
Sorry.
What's going on now?
Everything's good. I gotta order a pizza. Hold on. Oh shit. I hope he didn't leave. Oh no, my session expired. Carry on. This is serious.
I think.
Shoot. Just keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Okay. I am really curious and scared to know what has happened now, but we're just going to be girls with struggles. Grab our sabers and just continue. Okay, so here we go. As we were saying at the very beginning on the top of the stream, there is a beautiful article about Kelly Marie Tran from Hollywood Reporter. Just the photography and this queen alone in this photography is amazing. She looks incredible. The artistry is just incredible. I'm just so glad she has this moment because she has deserved it.
She looks like a queen.
She looks amazing. This is a rather long article, and I wish I could just feature the entire thing, but I can't. So I'm just going to read and talk about some highlighted segments of the article. I thought this was interesting. She talked about how the final cut of Raya and the Dragon says, Raya sees the world in this doe-eyed, idyllic way, and then the world sort of breaks, and it changes the way in which she interacts with the world, she says now, just before the film's March 5th release in theaters and Disney+. That was my way, in brackets, into the character, out of brackets. I definitely in the past viewed the world through rose-colored glasses, and now I feel like I'm in the back smoking a cigarette saying, I've seen things. I just can hear her say this and just hear the wisdom, but also with that little giggle that she has of like she still is so, she has grown so much from this experience, but she is so much the wiser. And I think that really does show what a strong and delightful woman she is to be been what she's through. Sorry, I'm just kerfuffled because I've lost my twin in this. But she's been through what she's been through and is just come out of this experience of being bullied, just shining all the more. I love this woman. She also talks about how there are dual sides of herself. There's the glamorous side that you see in this lovely setup photography set. And she goes, this chick on the left is who I am 1% of the time. The girl on the right who is wearing her jaw t-shirt and her oversized glasses is her 99% of the time. And you know what? They're both worthy of love. I love that quote. I just thought she just shows so much wisdom and she needs to be heard more often in this world.
Amen. Okay. Amen. I agree with that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Are you okay?
No, okay, so Hubs is on his way home from work, and he's like, hey, I'll let you know when I'm almost done, and then you can order Papa John's. And I was like, cool, I'll have it all set up on my phone. So all I got to do is hit a button. And it didn't save my cart. Everything happened. I fell into the world between worlds, got back, Ben stayed, but I got my headphones and all that mumbo-jumbo stuff. And then, in the midst of all that, had to be on my phone. My screen timed out for Papa John's, and so then I had to enter everything back. He's like, hey, I'm almost done. I'm just like, God.
Yeah. It's not only that you went to the world between worlds in a TARDIS. Ellie. Yes.
She looks fierce as fuck.
Yes.
And yeah, hopefully my pizza doesn't end up in the world between worlds.
I do too. Or you might have to get a DeLorean this time and get it back out.
God, something. Something.
Also, what came out is this today, the day of all days, is an article about Marsha Lucas, George Lucas's ex-wife, and her editing genius. If you don't know, she's the one that edited a lot of the films in the day that made him be the director and creator that he is now, that gave him the respect. Her editing is what saved a lot of those films. And again, this whole article is something that I would really encourage you to go and read. But I'm just going to give you a few highlights. Lou, are you able to read now, or do you need me to?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope, I've always been reading.
Okay.
Just throwing that up there. Yes, I can read.
I love this about how there was no emotional resolution in this.
Where do you want me to start?
Just that paragraph. Most notably, after watching an early screening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marsha turned to her husband and director Steven Spielberg and told them there was no emotional resolution to the ending because Jones's love interest, Marion Ravenwood, just disappeared. Spielberg instantly agreed and shot an additional scene in San Francisco that showed Ravenwood waiting for Jones outside a building mocked up to look like it was in Washington, D.C. Okay, now if you would read the highlighted portion. I highlighted this portion. Wow. Those who were involved know how important Marsha was to the process, though.
In fact, back in 2013, Mark Hamill told Freak Central that, quote, "You can see a huge difference in the film," end quote, Lucas has done since he was divorced. Quote, "She was really the warmth and the heart of those films. A good person he could talk to, bounce ideas off of, who would tell him when he was wrong," end quote.
Said Hamill.
Said Hamill.
Said Hamill. Mark Hamill said this. And the article goes on to say, you can kind of see this in the prequels. The prequels did not have that emotional resolution, that emotional honesty that the other Star Wars films had. I just thought, this is the problem we're having right now on the sequel trilogy. So much of Star Wars is missing the heart, the emotional resolution.
I concur.
We need another Marcia Lucas. And I really hope this article is based on, or kind of introducing a new book out by Marcia Lucas, and the travesty that a lot of the narrative of her work at Star Wars has been really lessened and has not been talked about. And this book is going to bring more and more of the work and the salvation and restoration she did to a lot of these films. And you know what? I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear it, because her story needs to be told.
I feel like I need to apologize to all the noobs who have stumbled into our stream this evening. Normally, we do not have crazy things happening. So when someone's listening back to this, like, I feel really bad for the people who did not experience this live, because they're going to watch this and listen to it and go, what the hell is going on?
Oh, it's part of our charm.
Sure your words, like, I could still hear you.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And from what I did hear before I got pulled away into a game of cribbage, it sounded beautiful and eloquent. I'm like, man, no, I'm agreeing, and she can't hear me. She can't hear me. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you, friend. But
Yeah.
I wish you were with me. You're much better when you're here. I don't like you in the world between worlds.
I'm sure it would have been a dope place to hang out if I wasn't under duress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, people who are new in this chat, it's usually not as chaotic, but struggles is part of our charm. I'll just warn you. Having struggles is part of our charm. We have a lot of them. But unfortunately, you heard, I would argue and say, the worst struggle we've ever had on this channel. We've had many of them.
That was crazy. I mean, I don't even know if we would have been able to start over.
No, we were in the dead of it. So I even thought about ending the session and closing it out, but I thought, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to grab my saber. I had an hour-long battle with OBS. OBS took one more strike in the middle of the live stream, but I'm not going to let it win. It won a couple of battles, but it will not win the war.
Speaking of WandaVision geeky stuff, Em has got a doozer of an analysis on that.
Ooh, should we even talk about that, or should we wait? What do you think?
It's whatever you want to do.
Okay. Well, what I have to say is basically built upon a person's observation. So I will link, after the stream is done, I will link that person's tweet down below. But I found a tweet where a scene with them rebuilding Ultron parallels perfectly with the scene where in Metropolis, where the lover is resurrected and is built into like this robot of doom. And someone, and I can't remember his name, forgive me, it was in a tweet that I showed Luthien earlier today, said something like, it's interesting that here are two lovers who have resurrected their significant other who is dead for destruction. And I thought, I don't think that's what's going on here. Maybe in Metropolis, that is a fact. This scientist did resurrect his lover to become a robot of doom and destruction. But Wanda, with her heart, is a different story. I think the last episode, and spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, showed us that she has this red power, this ability to resurrect life, but she does not resurrect life for destruction. She resurrected her life out of hope and to protect him from people who would use him as a weapon of destruction. The most powerful scene to me was not about anything that Agnes did. The most powerful scene to me was when, and I'm laughing for something that I know Lou's gonna say because it cracked me up, but what the most powerful scene to me is when you saw that red energy or power or whatever you want to call it just unleashed from her heart, and it was like a righteous anger of wanting everything that was taken away from her and taken away from the people that she loves and the hurt of the people that she loves and just saving them all. Like, to me, she's that red power. The reality is like wanting to create, not destroy, where the purple is more about destruction. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what is Agnes's power and why is it associated with the color purple, where Thanos is also purple of the destruction, blah blah blah. But I'm sorry, this theory is not very baked yet. I haven't had time to go over and bake on it and have it come out of my mouth very eloquently. But I just think it's going to be really interesting to see the feminine version of resurrection and wanting to create or even destroy because you want to protect. Lou.
Bye, Rhonda.
Bye, Rhonda.
Thanks for joining. Oh, you're writing a little jingle, really? Mm-hmm. It'll be a little interesting to hear when you're done. Wink, wink.
Geeky Stuff, I'm sure you could school me on that. He says it's not Ultron, it's White Vision. Like we've said before, we have not read the comics. I don't know anything. All I'm looking at is the visual imagery. So that is what I'm seeing. I don't know anything else.
Well, I was stuck playing Force Cribbage. Did you discuss anything else Daisy said in her interview with?
We went over the Rey Skywalker, and then we talked about the Rey, the Kylo emo discussion.
Okay.
And I waxed poetic about that. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I would love to point out that Daisy did an interview with the Zoe Reporter.
Oh, okay. That's a different interview. Hold on just a second. I do have a screenshot for that. I am prepared. Let the record show.
Oh yeah, also, Josh said, would you rather stop reading altogether or read Reylo fanfic? And then she picked Reylo fanfic. which was glorious. This came from the Zora report, and they asked her, like, oh, what have you been watching? And she goes, oh, so much stuff. She also watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
Woo!
Quote, I love Lord of the Rings. Oh, I can't believe it took me so long to get there. End quote. The person giving the report, I suggest that she would make a good elf. She has the just right combination of ethereality and physicality. Quote, you know what is hilarious? John Boyega used to call me Nicholas because clearly I look like a male elf, she says. Oh my god. Daisy loves Lord of the Rings. Stan the Queen. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it.
Speaking about
How can you not?
queens and kings and royalty, Soraya Wilson, our friend, is continuously updating her Twitter feed on little nuggets of knowledge that she has learned. She said something in our last stream about how when Rian Johnson wrote The Last Jedi, he did not know if Ben was going to die or not. But last night she did she did expand on that understanding. I have the screenshots here. Do you want to read them, Lou, or do you want to have them peruse them?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Soraya, in her interview with Rian, said, did you know that Ben was going to die when you were making Last Jedi? Did you know that from the beginning? Rian said, no, I did not. No. Soraya is irritated because she realized that killing Ben was not always the plan. Then Rian noticed her expression and her sigh of disgust and laughingly asked Soraya what that was for. She told him, I'm going to quote her Twitter now, I told him I had a lot of feelings about that ending and then showed him my Ben Solo deserved better t-shirt, which made him laugh more. He explained that it was very much a full handoff between 7 and 8, just as it was from 8 to 9. Ryan did his best to tee up a bunch of things and tried to bring 8 to a point where there were lots of places the story could go. He didn't want to be unfair to the next director and leave a lot of possibilities. He wasn't trying to he wasn't trying for a specific outcome for the end of the series. So the fact that, quote, killing Ben, end quote, was not really ever the part of the plan, is validating, yet also like, oh, that makes Tross and what happened even more wicked.
Yeah.
And I can't say anymore or else we'll get sniped.
Yeah.
I wish, guys, and gals and friends, I do want you to know that there's a lot that we could say about this, but we can't. So just know that something wicked happened, but there are still people fighting for a character. That's all we can say. That's all we can say. But always hope. There's always hope and a light. And the mouse can come to my house and take me away in a straitjacket. I don't care.
I think he already tried to.
I think he tried just now.
I think he just tried. I want to blame Terrio and JJ and everything, but I really feel like I really feel like it's more of a studio issue than it was a director and writers. To me,
Yes, everyone is expendable. Everyone is expendable.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you created this character or not. You are expendable, and no one is immune either. So,
I mean,
throwing that out there, take it as you will.
it does not, the decisions that were made in episode 9, whoever made them, to me felt really disjointed. Felt like it was taped together by a person who was desperate to make a story of some sort of footage that they had. It felt like that was not made, film was not made by a creative team, but something else. So I want to blame JJ. I want to blame Terrio. And a lot of wanting to blame JJ for me is because of The Force Awakens. I mean, we've talked about this so many times. There was so much set up in The Force Awakens. So how could the same man that created and wrote Force Awakens would create and write The Rise of Skywalker? Something doesn't compute here. So I think let's try not to blame one person and just look at the big picture, that there were many, many, many hands involved in this monstrosity that is The Rise of Skywalker.
Wicked hands.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say, 'cause I'll get sniped if I say anymore.
Okay, Molly says, one of my friends said The Rise of Skywalker was like watching 2 different movies get crammed into one. Yeah, and one thing that it makes me think, and Lou has said this, Lou was, I think you were the first one to make this observation, if my memory serves correct, that it is not paced like the rise of the J.J. Abrams film. Like, say what you say about J.J. Abrams. Yes, he is not good at conclusions. He is okay about setting up all these little mystery boxes, but he is not good about opening them and concluding things. But what he is good at is good pacing.
Also, as we've discussed in many chat, that JJ is the creator of Felicity. And you, I'm just saying you as a generalization, Mouse, cannot tell me that the creator of Felicity, who put Felicity and Ben together, spoilers, at the end of the whole series, even though it was wackadoo featuring, no matter, put Felicity and Ben together at the end of that series, would not have done so at the end of this.
Friend, I have some bad news.
Pacing. And Ben and Felicity.
I have some bad news.
What?
Sorry. Peter Travers spoke to J.J. Abrams about Felicity, and J.J. said that he has learned a lot since watching making Felicity, and he is now in the process of making a new Felicity with his now understanding of the world. So I'm wondering if that kind of makes me suspicious that the JJ who made Felicity is not the JJ who made The Rise of Skywalker.
You know what? That is a rabbit hole for another day.
Well, no, I'm meaning just, I feel like our lovely JJ of Felicity became a very jaded man. And I'm scared to death because he's making a new Felicity. And I'm very interested and very scared to see.
Nothing sacred. Everything has to be redone.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily he's going to redo.
Or it's a continuation.
Or it's a continuation, or it's like Felicity now created by a jaded JJ. Is what it sounds like.
Great. Thank God Hubs is bringing home a pizza. Hope he's bringing 2, because I'm going to eat a whole box by myself.
Well, let's hope that he has a Marshall Lucas in the wings that pulls him aside and says, "JJ, now we need
Are you
some."
gonna kill Ben in that one too, JJ?
We need some emotional resolution, and we need some heart in this. Remember why we love Felicity in the first place. That girl had heart, and she had feelings, and you did not punish Felicity for having feelings and seeking autonomy and seeking her heart in this. So don't punish this new Felicity. Just because she lives in a different age, in a different world, doesn't mean that she needs to be punished. So let's just hope for more Marcia Lucases in the world. That's the one saving grace in all of this.
Well, I'm glad we had this talk.
But Reylo tea has been spilled. We had Ray Skywalker.
Yes.
We had story teams sharing Ray Skywalker. We had Kelly Marie Tran's glory day today.
Right. Focus. Bring the focus back.
We had
Reylo
lots of good things
this night.
Yes. Now it had some bitterness. It had some it had some bitter tea there. We had to drink some bitter brew, but we also drank some delicious Reylo brews and some delicious Tran Revenge tea as well. So
my tea on my end was so hot.
It
sent
blew
me into the world between worlds.
It blew the speaker.
It blew the speaker.
It just couldn't handle it
Sorry.
after Ray Skywalker. It was like, I'm done.
I don't even know. I feel. I mean, we have to end, but I feel incomplete because I missed half of my own stream.
I know.
It's all right. We'll do another one.
We will. And I think that's why it kind of turned downhillish, is because we are now
Went
jaded.
downhill after I came back.
We are now jaded girls with sabers. We now live in a world where we are separated, and we're like, oh, something can happen to our Reylo tea. So
I gotta stop talking ill about the mouse. I can't help myself though. I mean, they are gunning for us.
yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? I don't know. I think we should save that tea for some Patreon discussion.
Yeah, we'll save it for our patrons. It's safer.
It's safer. Oh, so
They're literally coming for us, guys.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for those who stayed with us through thick and thin, through the horrible speaker issues, the sound effects that sounded like a 60s program, The Twilight Zone. Thank you for staying with us through all of that. We really, really appreciate it. If you are...
Thank you for the super chats.
Yes. Thank you for the super chats.
Moderators.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. We're very blessed to have you here.
Don't let this stream sway your opinion about the channel as a whole.
Please.
Or let it, you know.
You do you. We understand. No matter what your conclusion is, we understand.
It was great to see Ben, though. I mean, he was good.
So everyone, if you want to talk to us some more, you can reach out to us on Instagram. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Rarely on Tumblr. I'm sorry. Patreon. Our merchandise for now is on TeePublic. All of those links are in the description. Thank you so much again. We are girls with sabers, girls with struggles, and we will hang in there and say peace, love, and Reylo as long as we can.
Peace, love, and Reylo, y'all. Have a great night.
Night.
Ben Solo lives. I've seen him.